Was that like him exploiting you or something?
I don't really know. In fact, I cried. When you didn't find yourself in a trouble, you'll be thinking about a solution. Then I sold my laptop, my TV, almost every belongings then. So just to get event.
Most people, if they even start one business and it fails, honestly, they find it very difficult to pick themselves up and go to the next one. But you have constantly tried to evolve, to try different things.
Because, business is all about consistency, and that alone actually helped me a lot. Everybody can have money to start up a business, but the managerial aspect is the major thing.
What were you using to make the decision that, okay, this business, time up, I need to diversify to the next one?
I have a kitchen. So why, instead of me sitting there without training anybody,
yes,
I can actually start frying chin-chin. So I got a lot of challenges from my mates that because I graduated with second-class upper. Why would you be frying chin-chin as a second-class upper? Even my parents, like, you do have really look of a job.
Welcome to another episode of the Priority Podcast. Today's episode is going to be really interesting because I have a serial entrepreneur with me here. Somebody who has tried many businesses, but he is passionate about the business that he is currently doing, which is transforming dates into different things that he's going to tell us about. When I first stumbled upon this product, I was surprised that somebody is turning dates that we are used to, somebody is using them to create magic. And this is the dates powder sachet, and it's just a natural sweetener, not artificial, naturally produced 100%. And we are going to dive deep to know more about this business and this brand and where the CEO is planning to take this business. I'm honored to introduce Olatunde Mustapha, the CEO of Datesstore. Sir, it's an honor to have you on our podcast, and I know this is going to be an interesting podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm honored to be here with you guys.
Yeah, so I don't want to waste time. They say if you want to understand what someone is doing, you need to understand where that person is coming from. Can you tell us about your journey?
Well, we give glory to Almighty God. The journey has not been easy, but like I said, we thank God. It all started way back when I graduated from Usman Danfodio University, Sokoto State. So, the passion for business and the fact that I want to be self-reliant, not depending on government to do anything for me, actually encourages me to dive into business. Datesstore Nigeria Limited is not even the first business. I think I have like 9 businesses that all failed woefully.
Wow.
When I mean failed woefully, they're all starting point for me. But, the journey of those businesses that failed actually helped Datesstore Nigeria Limited to scale through. I won't say that fully, but at least it limits the risk when you are starting a new business. So when I finished Usman Danfodio University, then I used to be an event planner. Within the school, want to plan an event, I would join them. At the end of the day, be like, wow, this is very, very interesting, and this event goes smoothly. So after graduation, before my NYSC, then I can actually start something with this. People really loved what I'm doing, so I had to, add one or two things together. I just started without even have an idea.
Yeah.
Of how the whole thing, is going to be like. So I printed the flyers, I give myself a name, 4M Event Academy. Like, I need to start something, start training people about how to plan an event. So, what are the components of starting an event? I started the whole thing, like, okay, fine, I want to have a department for baking, department for facial makeup, department for decoration. These are things that, when talking about event planning, they are all
under
event planning. So I didn't learn that from anybody. I just came up with the idea, like, let me just start, just because people were actually encouraging me, like, oh, you are doing fine in this. So, I printed the flyers. I started distributing flyers everywhere in Sokoto, like, come and learn something. I didn't even have a venue. So, after the whole thing, I just like, oh, I started a business without even having a venue of my own. But then I just be like, let me just start. Let me see how it's going to be. So along the line, I started sharing flyers. I got 3 people that called me that they want to register. 15,000 naira. Then, like, how would you learn 3 things for just 15,000 naira? I never knew I was actually putting myself in the big trouble.
Wow.
So along the line, 3 people registered. I had 45,000 naira in my account. I was so happy, like, yeah, this is the real business, without minding the risk behind it. So I got the venue, pairing with somebody, like, okay, fine, please, I want to be using this venue for training, maybe just 2-3 times. After 3 people registered already, like, let me just start using this. One thing about business is, when you didn't find yourself in a trouble, you'll be thinking about a solution.
Yeah.
So afterwards, I got the venue, and the man was like, as a copper, you have a very, very good idea. I think I can lend you this place to use. I said, there's no problem. I was happy. He gave me a small office. So, after a week, I was still battling with how to market the whole thing. I was just alone, nobody. So, after these 3 people registered with me, the man that lent me the space came out with another trouble with me, that we need to talk about business. Since I have 3 people that registered with me now, that I won't be paying money per annum. I won't be paying money per week. I will be paying money every day that I'm using the venue. And
Was that like him exploiting you or something?
I don't really know. In fact, I cried, because then when I got home, I was like, oh my God, haven't I put myself in a big shit? Because, people that have registered are actually looking at, when are we starting? I didn't even have an instructor. So when the man came up with that idea, sometimes, there are kind of blessing in disguise. Some things will happen to you, think, this is a bad thing, but to God, it will be like a push to even get to something better. So after the man said I won't be using the venue, I had to pause. So I had to fall back and be like, okay, fine, let me think about the whole thing. If I'm paying 7,000 naira every day, and I have to train people for 30 days, I'm not really making any profit at the end of the day. Okay, sir, don't worry. Let me get up to 10 people, then I can now start. While looking for 10 people, I started looking for another venue for myself. So immediately I got another 2 people that registered. Then I'll be like, okay, fine. Then I sold my laptop, my TV, almost every belongings then. So just to get
a venue.
So I got the venue at around 150,000 naira. It was not even up to, because the email was supposed to be around 200,000. So I had to plead with the man. The man gave me. Then I went there. I saw the venue, like 3 bedroom. I'm still using that place. I think it's around 8 years now. I'm still there presently. So after I got the venue, I didn't even have anything. So I'd be like, okay, fine.
No furniture.
So, no furniture, nothing. So at down the line, so those people started calling me 419, like, guy, we can't find you where we registered and what is happening. I said, okay, fine, please, just give me a little time. I'm putting 1 or 2 things together. So I had to close all the doors, left alone with the central hall, mini hall. Like, I have all those pictures. So, along the line, I got like 10 pairs of chairs. Then I'm like, where do I start from? I called these people. Before their arrival, I went online, how to bake cake. So I downloaded the handouts for them, start teaching them. In fact, I remember then I didn't even know how flavor and other baking material looks like, but I've been teaching them different types of cake, banana cake, banana flavor, different types of cakes. So along the line, they learned a lot without even seeing cake physically.
Wow.
So they got tired, like, guy, you've been trained of how to bake cake and all of that. When are we eating this cake? I said, oh, don't worry, it's a matter. So a lady actually came in and rescued them. She said she saw my advert that she can learn henna design, but she knew how to bake cake. You know how to bake? She said, yeah. I said, go and bring all your items. She brought all those items, and then, I had to call all my students again. So I had to join them to learn. That was when I know how to bake cake.
Wow.
Because I joined those students while the other lady was training them. So, to cut the story short, I within despair of, I faced a lot of challenges then. Because after those set of students, I couldn't even get another set. I was even start thinking maybe they are all village people running after me, because how will I struggle to get a venue and I didn't even have a student. I did that for like 3 months. I didn't even have money to even pay staff. So one day I just woke up again like, no, even if not village people, they go, now today do they go leave my bag. So I went back again, start another set of adverts. I remember then I would join the school bus to Smadaford University, try pitching these ideas to people inside the school bus. I'll share flyers with them. While coming back here, I'll do that the same thing. So I did that for like 3 days. So after the whole thing, I got another 3 set of students. Okay, fine. I think I need to leverage with social media. Let me use these 3 students to get more 3. To get those 3, we bring another 3 students. So whatever we are doing then, I have to tell them, post it on your status. Let's know, upload this one. So their friends saying that, like, where is this? It's an event academy. Where? Okay, fine. I would love to join. So along the line, I think I have trained more than 500. And that was actually a stepping stone.
Really good.
So the business, I actually switched from that because along the line, the more I'm trying to train students, then people start reducing. The patron was not as before.
Yeah,
as an entrepreneur, you learn how to diversify. So while I was still training them, I started date business, but not really as fully established as it is now. So while along the line, I sold Irish potato, chin-chin, Gary, a lot of businesses along the line.
Your story is about, so far, it's about resilience, because most people, if they even start one business and it fails, honestly, they find it very difficult to pick themselves up and go to the next one. But you have constantly tried to evolve, to try different things.
Because, business is all about consistency, and that alone actually helped me a lot. Because if a business can actually survive for like 5 years, then there's a good story behind it. But your first 5 years, you can't actually write a success story like, okay, because to push the business, it's not even about setting up a business. It's about how to manage it. That's why most of businesses fail these days. I have money. Everybody can have money to start up a business. But the managerial aspect is the major thing. So that's it, but we thank God at least we are up to something today. So Datesstore. Let me come back and talk about Datesstore now.
Yeah. We're going to get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, so what I want you to talk about is when you were first facing those challenges, maybe when you started the business and you were navigating from this business to the next business, what was in you? What were you using to make the decision that, okay, this business, time up, I need to diversify to the next one? I want to know how you were able to navigate those decisions.
Okay, fine. Like I said earlier, I started that as an event
planner.
Yeah, so along the line, I wasn't getting enough patronage. People were not coming and I have a kitchen. So I'd be like, okay, fine. Chin. Let me start. Then they used to call me Mr. Crunchy because I can show you all those videos like crunchy chin. So I have a kitchen. So why instead of me sitting there without training anybody,
yes,
I can actually start frying chin. So I got a lot of challenges from my mates because I graduated with second class upper. Why would you be frying chin as a second class upper? Even my parents, you didn't have really look for a job. You didn't try to get a job of your own or something. You just here frying chin as a graduate. So that kind of, I'll be like, no. But if I can brand it very, very well, I think I can make a cool cash. So if you see my chin then well branded. So they call me Mr. Crunchy. I think
that's where the name came from.
Yeah.
Because of the branding probably.
Yeah. So Mr. Crunchy. So I started making small money from there because I don't want to give up. I don't believe in impossibilities.
Yes.
So where would I start from? After renting the space, training people, I will not say I'm not doing again. People start thinking you are not serious. So when you wake up a day no. It's not yet time for me to give up. So along the line, the chin was not actually moving. I go to different exhibitions. I was so proud. In fact, I was the brand ambassador of my brand. I will go to you see me laughing and holding my products. People be like, you don't even get money to go do for ambassador. I say, I can smile. Let me just do it myself. So even when I started Irish potato business, I went to Jos. I'll buy Irish, take it to Sokoto, brand it. They all failed. But then I'll be like, okay, fine. I know along the line I will actually get a single product that will be a breakthrough.
Lot of sense.
So in the process of looking for dates, I've done so many things. Yeah.
Okay, so it's more like you now bringing everything that you've learned throughout the years since you started.
They are all learning process.
Then
a failure is not a
back to this product.
Yes, a failure is not a failure until you see that thing as a failure.
Yeah, actually, it's true.
But you fail forward.
Yeah.
When you fail, you ensure you learn on the process.
You said something that you were the brand ambassador of your business. And I think business owners in this part of the world, there are a lot of people that will not like to carry their business on their head and be proud of it. But I think passion has played a role.
Yes,
in your journey.
Many people challenge me that you're proud of yourself selling chin chin. I say, in fact, I lost some relationship along the line. So like, no, I can't. How will I be? But the fact that I own the brand, I'm the owner.
Yes.
So what is there? In fact, some people are using my picture as a meme. Is it meme or they call it or memes or something? That I feel like you guys are not serious. But then they are out there today still like, this guy, you've gone so far. I remember then. So it's not the story.
Yeah. So now, want to come back to Datesstore. What was the reason? Why did you decide to do something like this? To package the package.
Well, many people have asked series of questions like, did you actually go for a special research training or something? Because
honestly, when I saw these stuffs, I was like, maybe a lot of money had gone into the research of this product to come up with even this idea and a whole lot. So I would like you to take us to the journey of what's happened that brought about this product here.
Well, Alhamdulillah, let me still say that once again, because ever since I started this date business, I don't for once regret why do I even start this business. It has really been a big truth for me. While I was still trying to set up, or the journey of my field businesses, I was actually doing dates then.
Okay.
So someone just reached out to me online that please, he learned that dates is kind of very, very cheap in Sokoto State. So can I get him the cheapest dates, maybe the price and what have you? The man is still in business now, so I said, okay, there's no problem. I went to the market. I said, okay, fine, this is amount they are selling per mudu. He said, oh, please, thank you. Help me and get it. I said, why are they doing with this? He said, no, that they are using it for alternative sugar. Instead of using sugar, they are using dates. Okay, fine, there's no problem. I got that, and after getting it, he said, please, can I help him and deseed it? That is to remove the seed out of the fruit. I said, okay. I did that, and I sent to him in Abuja. After receiving it, he milled it into powder. So then, even him, he was trying to, sample the product to see how
it will look.
It will look, exactly. How people is going to accept it. So after 3 days, he called again that, he has sent that as a sample, but many people, like, they see it, like, they actually love it. Okay, fine. Okay, please, can you still go back again and get me, like, 3 mudu? I said, okay, fine. But this time around, can you get me where they are milling in Sokoto? I said, I didn't even have an idea of where they are milling. But then, let me see
what you can do.
So I tried as much as possible, but then, like, no, they can't mill dates. Date is too strong. There's the only mill, maize and other things. So I spoke with him. He said, there's no problem. So I did the same thing. He paid me. Then along the line, I said, sir, instead of buying mudu, why can't we just buy half bag? He said, who is going to buy it? I said, it's all about trying. I actually encouraged him, and we did that. In fact, before the year runs out, then we started buying up to 5-10 bags. And I'll still decide and send to him. So while doing that, I started making a research. He will actually pay me for buying, give me some commissions, and then pay me for the seeding. And so it was just more like a side hustle for me then. So along then I started studying dates.
Wow.
Like, okay, how many species do you have? I think this species is actually best for this. If I should use this, what is the result that's going to give me? If I'm to use this, what kind of result I'm going to get? So while making a side research on dates, then I was still doing the business for him. So he started the business. He was actually in the business even before me. So officially, I registered this store last 2 years, and we've been able to get more than 26 byproducts of dates, and researches are still going on. In fact, many people till today, they won't believe I have a lab where I actually test so many things, the fiber, because dates are actually rich in fiber. And so I have a lot of experiences in testing some of them. I was never a science student, but then I used to learn. Okay, so today we have, in fact, I've gone far as making date shawarma, date pizza, date bread, date cosmetics. From the fiber we've gotten from the date syrup, so we added one or two formulas, and when you rub it, it actually cures stretch mark for female. In fact, We have date perfume. You'll be surprised. Yeah, we actually when I was actually trying to get a fragrance from date, because it doesn't have a really smell like that, so it's kind of a little bit difficult for me. I tried it from the fruit. I didn't get it. I tried from the leaf until I got it from the root. I would love to. I won't say more about that, but very soon
Maybe
we have
it's
most of
something
our
working.
we have most of our products to be launched very soon. In fact, date drink. I've traveled to China, Cairo, so many countries for research.
Just to
For research.
Now, like the dates that you source, is it made in Nigeria or maybe like planted in Nigeria, or you?
It's another journey on its own, because the process of getting, trying to source for which particular species is best. I traveled down to Algeria by road. I went to Tolga, called the place Tolga. It took me 2 days, 17 hours by road, desert area, across to Mali, from Niger to Mali, and I never even thought I would be coming back to Nigeria, because I really face a lot of so I was able to get some customers there, local farmers, have their contacts. After I came back, like, okay, fine, I need this. So from there they will send to Niger, from Niger to Ilela. Ilela's a border from Sokoto to Niger. So from there I'll pick it up. So I was able to at least start off from there, and be able to know what kind of species is best for syrup, kind of species is best, because even if you have 3 to 4 different types of dates, some are still more sweeter than the others. So there are some that looks more brownish in color, then it will not be as sweet as the pure white.
Okay. You are giving me tips. If I go for dates, I think I'll look for the ones that are a bit white.
Yeah.
Because it can just be when you are buying dates, even if you like buy in bulk, you can just at the end of the day see that there are some that are not sweet. So I get your point. Now, is it really, how difficult is it to produce all these things? How difficult to produce what we are seeing? Because we only get to see the final form and enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, I can walk through the process, and I can tell you it's not something easy, because the seeding date. Because when I was starting up, I faced a lot of problems, because Millie mentioned to mill date is not something easy. Sometimes it exposes you to, you start inhaling date powder, and it's not good to the health. Okay. You understand? So we face a whole lot of problems. So after the seeding, you have to go through the manual process of the seeding, breaking each date, each fruit, breaking it one after the other, and remember thousands of or millions pieces you have in the bag. So so the seeding process is not something easy. After you deseed, you need to now separate the seed from the fruit, because the seed is very, very hard. So you need to separate the seed from the fruit. Then you need to clean it again. After cleaning it, you blow. After blowing, you have the finest date. Then you now go and mill. So after milling, you still have to sieve to get the finest powder out of it. Then before you now start, because if anything along the line, maybe dust or stone or anything, there's no how you taste dates. If you have that stone and this thing, automatically it's
what I want to understand now, that means both the seed inside the dates and the fruit that we get to enjoy can both be used to do the final product. Or maybe
no. After separation, the seed, in fact, let me say the revenue we generate from the seed is even more than the fruit. I can prove that to you. But people don't really know that. We make date seed infusion, which is the coffee out of the date seed. That strong date seed.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's oil they normally extract from that same date seed. In fact, I remember then in the olden days, they still use that seed for cosmetics. They call it tiro in Yoruba, and maybe an eyelashes or something. They use it, the kolia or something else. Yeah. So they still use kolia. They still use that too. Do you get? So there are a whole lot of things. In fact, the oil extracted from that seed, some actually grows the air. When you rub it in there, it grows air faster. So there are a lot of hidden revenue. As I speak with you, Oman. Now I saw a documentary that Oman has really gotten about diesel from that seed that can actually power a car.
Wow, that's interesting. There are a lot
of for you to know the kind of it's just like oil. You know, from crude oil, you can get diesel, you can get kerosene. So the same thing with.
So, which means I think right now you are not even producing up to maybe let's say 50% of the entire product.
Oh, I just said earlier that we have more than 26 byproducts.
Wow.
I can start mentioning them to you. Like, there are a whole lot of things we've gotten. You know, the beautiful part of this business is nothing is a zero waste. There are a lot of values you add to it. In fact, after producing our syrup, there's a fiber and other extract from it. You know, the fiber now, we now make the fiber as just like a semovita that people